Let me preface everything I'm about to say in this video by saying this. I don't want anything I'm saying taken out of context. I find the comments of Nick Fuentes to be beyond appalling, racist, sexist, bigoted, and anti-Semitic. This isn't based on hyperbole or hypersensitivity. I will show you the things he has said in a minute. However, I am a very strategic person, and I recognize the value in having someone like him publicly exposing conservatism. The beauty of Nick Fuentes is that he's the right's problem, not ours. He's their headache. He's their canker sore, their cancer. He's not ours. Anyway, he and this group called the Groypers have been challenging conservatives who they call Conservative Inc., based on their belief that these groups are sellouts, like Turning Point USA, led by Charlie Kirk. They've also challenged Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Ben Shapiro, and even Don Jr. Don Jr. got booed out of his own event. He ran so fast, no one even knew he was there. The Groypers would appear at conservative events and ask uncomfortable questions, sometimes shutting events down. Like this, starting with Don Jr., a.k.a. Fredo.
I think they're triggered, Don. It happens. It happens. But again, that's the difference between conservatives. Name a time where conservatives have disrupted even the furthest leftists on a college campus, right? It doesn't happen that way. We're willing to listen. We're willing to listen. See what I mean? And that is the problem. And the reason oftentimes it doesn't make sense to do the Q&A is not because we're not willing to talk about the questions, because we do. No. It's because people hijack it with nonsense looking to go for some sort of soundbite. You have people spreading nonsense, spreading hate to try to take over that room. And that's the real issue.
Advocated on behalf of accepting homosexuality, accepting homosexual acts as normative in the conservative movement. How does anal sex help us win the culture war?
Charlie, I speak for a not insignificant coalition of students in your organization that believes that your movement is up. I think a week or two ago that slapped you around pretty good on immigration. And so I guess my perspective is this. When we look at somewhere like Texas where immigrants are coming in and they are voting something like 70-30 for Democrats, they're utterly anti-gun. This is Pew Research, and utterly against free speech. I don't really think it matters how many young leadership, whatever conferences you hold. Demographics are going to catch up to you and you're going to lose. This is a culture where you're going to get routed in.
It doesn't look like it.
Wait, you talk super fast.
What's the question?
My question is largely directed to Mr. Kirk because you were raised as a conservative. Part of the issue I see here is, what's your name, Rob?
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh, you're behind the times, this isn't conservative. Well, we don't want centrists in the conservative movement. We want to retain our core values.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We don't want drag.
But here's the thing.
Nick Fuentes! This guy is a Groyper. You said you did.
Groyper grifter.
America first! America! America first! 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 America first!
I mean, damn! Charlie Kirk was running away from his own event. I mean, you would have thought he was a guest at the event. I mean, the way he ran off. But what's hilarious is that this isn't a fight between conservatives and liberals. This is a battle between conservatives and their own base. Again, not our problem, not our infection. But their leader, Nick Fuentes, who started the Groyper movement, has said some of the most offensive things publicly. Here are some of his greatest hits.
It was better for them too, number one, but number two, who cares? Who cares? You know, enough with the Jim Crow stuff. Who cares? Oh, to drink out of a different water fountain. Big fucking deal. Oh no, they had to go to a different school. Their water fountain in that famous picture was worse. Who cares? Grow up. Drink out of the fucking water fountain. It's water. It's the same. You know? And, even if it was bad, who cares? Who cares? It's better. It's better in general. We all agree it was better for them. It's better for us. It's better in general.
If I take 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies and Cookie Monster has 15 ovens, working 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years, how long does it take Cookie Monster to make 6 million batches of cookies? I don't know. That's a good question. Certainly, oh, no. It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. You want to talk to Jewy Jewstein, who says, I like the free market. I like capitalism. But I think something else about social issues. That's who you want to have on your show. Welcome, everybody. I'm Dave Rubin. I'm gay and Jewish, and this is the Gay Jewish Show. Today we've got a Jew who's going to talk to us about why the only thing you're allowed to disagree on is economics. Typing on twitter.com, faggot pussy, race traitor. You work for Jews,
If you listen to those comments and don't find them appalling, then you are likely just like Fuentes. For the record, while I find him overtly offensive, I don't support silencing his speech. And don't get upset. Remember, I told you I'm a strategic person. Just listen to what I'm saying. Don't take anything I'm saying out of context. And the reason why I don't agree with silencing the speech is for multiple reasons, and here's why. Number one, I believe that no one can control the way another person thinks or believes. Silencing speech doesn't change a person's beliefs. It is much more effective to challenge and destroy their message than trying to silence them. Number two, when you silence speech, you martyrize these people. They become victims in the eyes of their following, and you make them more powerful. Number three, in the age of the internet, these guys find ways to spread their message regardless. It's better to know what they are up to than letting them go underground, planning and plotting things we can't prepare for. For example, the mass murdering racist psychopath that killed all those Hispanic people at Walmart in Texas, he did not post his manifesto on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, etc. He posted it on 8chan, where no one there has any intentions of contacting authorities and or trying to deter him from his conduct. If he posted it on Twitter or Facebook, he would have been reported. One of the greatest things about Fuentes is that he's a conservative fighting conservatives. He's exposing conservatism for what it is. Conservatives are desperately trying to distance themselves from him and anyone that supports him, but it simply is ineffective. For example, they fired Michelle Malkin. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's one of those conservative voices that's been out there for a while. They fired her, or they removed her from YAF, which was this young conservative movement, for defending Fuentes. Now she's also somebody who's a conservative, is on a mission now to basically destroy what they call Conservative Inc. Let's face it, conservatives have always flirted with racism, sexism, xenophobia, bigotry, and anti-Semitism. They were always comfortable subtly pushing those narratives as long as they could deny that they were racist. Then came Trump, who said the quiet out loud. They couldn't stop his babbling lips from talking, and this led to many more emboldened people like Nick Fuentes and Richard Spencer. Now, Richard Spencer, Nick Fuentes became their Achilles heel. They can't stop Nick Fuentes. They can't destroy him or silence him. He's telling us what conservatives really think. He attempts to argue that he's joking. But how many bigoted jokes can a person make before you recognize they aren't jokes? His battle with conservatives doesn't look like it will end any time soon. They intend to appear at more conservative events and demand answers to questions like, why do you support homosexuals? Why do you fight for everybody else and don't fight for white people? Why do you support legal immigration? Because a lot of conservatives like to keep their bigotry indoors, they will likely refuse to allow this speech occur. As a consequence, they get accused of being anti-speech. The same people who have profited off of accusing the quote-unquote libtards of being opposed to free speech can't handle the speech themselves. The hypocrisy is astounding. So how do we benefit from this? Well, we amplify people like Nick Fuentes that openly say he's on the right and a Trump supporter. We remind the country of the kind of people that support conservatism and Trump. Why silence him when he's one of the best allies we have for 2020? If Democrats are smart, they would show what the Conservative Party is and always has been and distinguish themselves from this. Because the more people like Nick Fuentes talk, the better it is for us. Not to mention the endless headache he's causing conservatives. Once again, not our problem.